The prayer and promise in 2 Thessalonians chapter 1 verse 11, that by his power he, God, may fulfill every good purpose of yours and every act prompted by your faith, is certainly the story of the Lagos mission planting. Inspired by the great numbers of Nigerian brothers and sisters that were being baptized in the London church in 1987, God put in the heart of the London leadership the vision and belief that God can use some of the brothers and sisters of the London church to plant a church of true disciples of Jesus Christ in Lagos, Nigeria. By faith, Doug Arthur, one of the evangelists in London, began to plant seeds of faith in the heart of a young ministry intern, Adetokunbo Tokes Shoalu, and in the heart of several of the brothers and sisters. Surely enough, the seeds began to take root and grew into a vision that became a reality when the church was planted in May 1989. Prompted by faith and a deep conviction about what God could bring, faith-building devotionals were held regularly for all Africans and Africans at heart in the church, and fundraising events began, such as the Shoe Shine for Africa and the Jump for Africa, which saw brothers like Doug Arthur, James Lloyd, John Pattington, John Louis, Mohan Najunden, and Tokes jump from a moving aeroplane at 200 feet to raise money for the Lagos planting. Interviews were held with disciples who expressed a desire to leave careers and a comfortable life behind in the UK in order to be used by God in Nigeria. As soon as the team was chosen, God began to prepare them through devotionals, inspiring lessons, prayer meetings, and other planned events such as day trips. The team grew in conviction, unity of purpose, and the determination to be used by God in Lagos and beyond. This was the time that brings fond memories. There were belly aching times of laughter, sobering moments of reflection, as well as challenging talks. Looking back, one marvels at the hand of God and the willingness of the hearts of the 17 disciples that were chosen. The team comprised of 2 English brothers, 1 Scottish sister, 1 brother from Cameroon, 3 Jamaicans, 1 American, and 8 Nigerians. The 2 married couples at the time had only been married for 2 and 3 months respectively. One of the team members, Oyinda Balogun, who eventually got married to Dolapo Ogunipe, who was raised in a Muslim household and at the time a relatively young Christian, has since gone home to be with the Lord. We will always be grateful for Oyinda's passion for God, her example, and friendship. Most of the brothers and sisters gave up careers and paid their own flight tickets to Nigeria with no promise of jobs where they were going. All the team members considered it an incredible honor and privilege to be of service to the Lord. On 17th May 1989, 6 of the team members arrived in Lagos, 2 weeks before the rest of the team arrived, in order to make adequate preparations. Once the entire team arrived in Lagos, regular devotionals, small Bible discussion group meetings, and church services began. The first official service of the Lagos planting, which was held on the 9th of July 1989 at the YWCA Hall in Obalende, saw over 200 in attendance. It was truly amazing to see the vision become a reality. Within 4 weeks, many men and women were baptized into Christ. Within a few months, new leaders began to rise up, and new Bible discussion groups started in GRA Ikeja, Allen Avenue, Surulere, Lagos Island, and Victoria Island. In the first year, 200 were baptized into Christ. Many of these brothers and sisters later led or are leading groups and churches all over Africa and the world.
I was one of the 200 people baptized in that glorious year. I was baptized in September 1989 and learned that our church had been planted a few months earlier. At that time, we were led by Henry and Marilyn Creeds. The fellowship was young, most of us were in our 20s, and the church was full of energy and zeal. We were close-knit and very evangelistic.
At first, our mode of worship and some other practices were distinctly British due to the influence of the mission team members. Over the years, we have indigenized much of this. In those days, our Sunday services were held at Federal Palace Hotel, Victoria Island. Our house church was at Oladipupo Kuku Street off Allen Avenue, Ikeja. There, some disciples were taught guard the gospel and others onto maturity classes. Some met their spouses and fell in love at those meetings. The staff then consisted of mainly mission team members and a few new recruits. Around late 1992, the Creeds left Nigeria. Tokes and Bola Showolu and Dolapo and Oyinde Ogundipe took up the leadership of the church. During this time, some of the lovebirds got married and our church budded with newlyweds. Among them, some of the mission team members and other young converts. The first wedding was between Eugene and Charmaine Ebulgiaye. Other early weddings were Ken and Titi Agogobia, Imagbe and Wemi Igbinoba, Shino and Fumi Aileru, Shade and Kwadio, Charles and Pat Eliko, Ignatius and Vivian Ebulgiaye, Chris and Rolayo Obonaya, and Fred and Titi George. We used to have weddings on Sundays to save the cost of hiring Saturday venues. After church on Sunday, therefore, was very convenient.